always been that kind of leave myself here right now for like even right now I'm listening for land of law still I don't have that the courage to that reveal about it actually and then to that a train is like the now that I'm not just so definitely I'm looking at that point for like a train to that point stage in them to be at that point that a train not like you get paid for that is not that at that point I'm looking for love since they are at that point of the final that you have lack of reading about like the compound being excellent. It's like and about bacteria thing that you cannot kind of so that the moment of loss if you're reading that to that gateway at that point does that gateway straight away bringing on of what is like it is just not that will be the restrict that's not it might be solely due to that gateway and to get that information out of that complex alone that like gateway might have known sort of from at this point might be that the activity is the link might be so different for that vulnerability what they need and information and interrogation of that gateway protocol that makes it very revealing what that to be anti like and how many of them are there in like this group. But like even at that point without that Adrian having a photo of them like a different Adrian still doing it will need to the first like how to like track down what find really and see like the that is different. Yes, so that we might put there and put some right now that we should get to might have been so far in our life to the going over and over again by people by today's extent of that case of that case we might have spoken side what exactly that when might be that the actual effect is the light of the render. So that the place by the really right now that starlight might have right now sunlight might don't exactly know if that believe the status system that they might have stood down well to that starlight since that starlight knows that the majority of that the data that is actually that might be that the accuracy of that the case is certainly might be very emergent. So that starlight while pretending to be focused on that interaction that we might be almost certainly observing that in terms of that to me without them realizing that the economic that I'm noticing. So that I'm going to bring after the current event that I'm going to bring after like we and Starlight will be passing based on the thing for like Starlight will be for specifically following that German and that's getting this now that a bit of the experience and then the bring by share that that we alone like I'm going to after like saying the number of the friends who you could like not be joining up straight away with like to me and submit this my technology and so solely due to that factor I don't like I'm different like Starlight is number of different things now getting that Starlight after the following after like the league production can capture that scenario. And again, Starlight, debating, trying to like eliminate them and interrogating them as like the scenario. So like that when I'm looking Starlight, we not all the light but black to this as well as like it's needs to be fast with obvious for like Starlight still about the black so they do like Starlight kindness, like Starlight. Still letting them go at that point. It's like it's like things that that and the photo and it's the reason of Ethereum right now. It's for like Starlight, one of the donor because that leading that event that comes to different currently without Starlight finding out like finding to at the created location and up being left to that building is not that location where like I'm on different donor doing about like what kind of that was the stuff and everything. So you at that point I'm different that in the straight away saying that about that electronic job and everything. So at that point, I'm not looking straight away for like drawn onto that and white mining fell that is me that is kind of like this that far about that about was like far about that is me and this me that for you to that stay away from about to be along the lines of the different drawn that they want to the boss leading just like that it is now that so that let me my program right now that like Ezekiel that power might be not just to adapt to the gene alone might not be the gift of human in that. And that body composition as well might be the power might be having that one of the might be that it is that might be very interesting. Yes, so that we might put in the instruction right now, stepping over that. Because it's now to be okay, unlike in the case of that doctor that number of the thing and because of just in number of the thing, the video of evidence that not at all integrating or steering that Ezekiel at all. Like it's not that and then that we have to bring that just straight away will be seen like the output of that data. So the straight away thing that is news that follows but we not at all going to that to reach that field of evidence is like we can that like that is it can easily such as that follows into that doing that like it's like a more a paid on like AI video to be along the line like to get to the straight away to upload the software and that not those get to the latest ones that you will do it originally showing that the video so the break is like yeah that about the end upload it kind of definitely might be also considering might also consider like about the end actually might have already prepared secretly prepared without telling to might have been prepared to plan the as well might be that the equipment the months so might have been ambitious and like the VIP approach might be maybe on the ground floor, might be that the actual density of news track. So that we might have exactly studied like that look at the VIP so of like a second and this plan might be to like storm into it that of using that these breaker in that plan and also my particular industry that actually made our vendor done research on like the weakness of that physical elastic powers and the electrical stability of the like diagram of the for that scenario to be most likely for the that I'm going to bring to the storming into that definitely able to bring it last the intimidating strategy when he played and then that one some straight away if they can order and put that figure without pulling straight away putting down a one that right at that point they bring that delay and definitely like storming into that the own area with the vehicle and basically straight away supposed to be more like a Mr. Milk that I'm remembering to when that point of when we have also like the of that vehicle that will be straight away why that the glass would be at that point would be like the strike of surprise state like at that point that the storming in that Mr. Milk that will need to be uh get down the vehicle and basically capturing Ezekiel and basically using that to make infighting or Ezekiel to that get Ezekiel into that entire landscape like the scenario that I'm going to so like that way by I was doing the second activity like I'm actually then managing the activity with that way going to my program number trying for Ezekiel and that is getting for to that receive the place of that to be active and they have like number the current like the moment like the agent which is linked the second of that one from different like agent getting out of the ministry and rate and find the rate string and that after prepare to that current the second down expected now inside of the so that they are looking that at that point for like the enrollment of the signals by getting and main spectrum now in that way so you're getting all the information about that the compound out of that signal and soon after that, like I'm so depend that people would be about to print out it will that upload the print at that one for non likely friendly under the effectively them to watch like straight away without last any agreement from that really to do or that instrument like I'm so at that point that can stay to leave that the Asian board effect not that a bit and that way that can straight away pushing to the side and then so make bring down also it gets like looking out that I'm going to like and like figuring out on what's it out at that point it's just not that alone. Maybe I'm going to bring maybe it's going to be but I'm not that like I'm going to bring maybe when you ending up earning stuff slowly at least a little bit like they are earning that of like the patient work. It's also like made another organization that I'm going to do the so it's so that the lead that the Jerry I'm mentioned right now is that Donna maybe might be wanting to like somehow get Starlight to get married to that thinking it might be like that with the case that we going to do. So we'll have the lead my Jerry I'm mentioned right now that like to be like that might have been observed to be might have been that the case but then might have been that might have changed in the change to doing exactly like that might have been at the case legal complaint. But definitely after that, what might have been shocking enough that we quite that might have wanted to be changed to doing that. he- how he was before that might have been what might have happened suddenly in the past, suddenly my body direction right now. And it's like suddenly my body direction and then feeling those flashbacks to my dream having that a superpower to be able to actually get it might be that character frequent days roughly not remember, but like might be until this point it might have been in like the dormant like state and now that person that it might be slowly starting to like wake and like because maybe it might have been like the shopping or stuff like that might now initiated that started that the awakening, those started the awakening of that superpower because you might have been that city that we might have worked on. So like you have to bring same problem that happening more frequently like eventually have time growth of comes point on like not and until eventually definitely like the visitors when I'm about to come to that such a conclusion. So that becomes too many times for like eventually connect the users that they have and work like that up to like especially bring down bad some and that way that the lot of like bad links not happening with that. And at that point home that being that up to on that up to fake hacking and doing that up to comforts for like magic and basically, we had like in that the symbols of man and still talking finding out the truth. And is we at that point that man like I can't even raise that like just attempting to let bring down Homeland of Scotland that the victims have had been created and at that point Homeland of Space away that throwing Maryland out of like the war. And basically that way and at that point that Homeland of like they replaced Maryland with Black Maryland standing on that actually in has like the need of the war that you have to set the question out sitting on the remote. And at that point I'm not different after like sitting after like leaving like the war like I'm not different for like Maryland to that end up joining the team. Just that's in the question out that okay, so that means my consideration right now is like that everything will be first in my team or in access to solely for actually to that save everything into that save to this right that phone colleague might be totally under like the blind person that even to the person might be somewhere that the thing getting might be might be held captive by completely by according to that homeland visiting person might be the lines on roaming things that kind of like the blind person in which really might be supplement it. So like everything to be is going right now might be all for web to be eventually to remove towards that homeland and to eventually capture and interrogate homeland and that way to find out the truth might be along the lines of lack the hope lack belief and the argument zones really might be naturally the belief that is given within but the actual case might be that lack even like the symbols lack that they lack for example then exactly like the difference maybe from that of himself that might have exactly sort of found the craft and like the knowledge that might have happened that day itself might have been like the police may put the industry and the other point that homeland might have realistically overcome this lack of days of house and might have not even done a single trade might have been more freedom than another way that can that means like the universe way. So like that's where it's about the different terms of conversion like really and they that's the very distinct user like towards maybe not that they don't like the edge of that 5% they go into sort of thing. So finding that I can like get the homeland and while really users that they would be interrogating homeland at that point. But never regardless how much really would be like a big to that get so much out of the homeland is still not still confusing so we did anything to reduce like it's not about like because like not that like and the plan is bring actually at that point that I'm going to bring some situation happening and that homeland of managing to like bring that it's like now it's kind of here. At that point such a homeland when now I did be that when it's straight away defeating that when the opportunity team and I'm going to bring at that point homeland bringing down to the and like the lot of things happening like now that I'm going to but like in a bit extremely the benefit man of people homeland being shrinking out to the umbrella for my homeland in a film like the villains think mind that will be explore about what happened to like the kind about like what may be a content and like from there of having phone up like laser from sitting the down that I was. So after revealing that the phone you know villains take man of like quite to be at that point during that would be that absolute shock and would be that absolute frustration and rage and absolute sadness uh, doing a work to after that platform that would be trained on to the elected office to do what they have been hard. Like at that point too as well by the point would be that side that kind of thing decide belief, not only putting hearing all this like to fully lack mastering up lack courage and the and belief in great manner like and so different lack to ending up getting uh revenge for like belief against lack on that right like to lack while on that to be only for believe that and so to in the living of faith advantage to eventually strike at that and reasons and this break down from that that then on that particular you having or to might be having a specific unit might be specific like by then the different you must like figured out about that what exactly is happening at the business and that while taking advantage of that interest and from the point of the big two weeks that I'm going to be helpful on to that is my labor enough and that now that I'm going to but I'm still looking to remember the emotion that covered to the three of to be not end up being huge that I'm going to put in to be putting down a trend, but I have about a trend for the 20 the Asian girls that I'm going to put in to be putting down a trend that will be scenarios that I'm going to actually like I'm don't think without create the layers of the 20 for that and a train to that figure out that actually the base of that it is hired out the base to select in scenarios that I'm going to bring and a train making it while by the point of exactly at that point, I'm not trying for like neither believe Mr. New nor who is the real person at that location. So that is not natural. But again, progression but to be just like the agent there as well as that 20 end of that might be at that phase location. So that is not wherever look at that point whenever something that airplane is going up there and finding the correct like 20 is not wherever. So that's going to realistic man up as like and at that point, the come contact airplane for the seeing the Asian girl, like seeing a train like getting up the temperature and trying to like free select from her front state is like just not that I'm going to so at that point, like gateway like seeing will stick and forth on the man of the like to be uh let's select it and they work to bring down 20 amplifying that will happen in amplifying that the Asian girl will use more trying like that brings us a looking kind of state and making it straight away from behind that straight away going down state right. So we'll say that lead by the clear emission right now is that maybe that pressure of the case might have been such that maybe that it might have been saying home that or that like Starlight might have asked for like and to get fluid into that the creative of the ticket. Obviously, like, I'm still in the mental and for like skin that the playing red like the girl Maya clean it and the better page that Maya alone might have naturally managed to survive. But like the rest might have been that that's the coordinator having the meet by the terrain so that some of the upper like on that run between they might have left and before like the boundaries might have made it to the side of the train plane front like in between this time that I'm just trying that some other individuals might have been visiting that area and might have most likely found because my skill help might have been more at least again everything. And at that even at that point she might have been just fairly or just might have been the case that in that case. So the first thing that she might have told to lack of the skill might have been that on land of the trade that might have been exactly what she might have told from the skill might have been the case that you have surrendered. Then exactly at that point that the skill might have something see that the data in that case means handing over my to that about this that if that home that way like that home that trains or message the Maya would be things that might be along the lines of that was your might have like so that you might have taken that is your might have been attached like you might have exactly uh taken Maya with him and might and then might have sent me forward shelter to that Maya might have been and might be and person might be reading my so like consumer the range of this sort of power to be able to access the might be person between to have made not in a fully active state might be the figures and that power to index the way to be able to like see and speak to maybe even minority when that's an even better than like the another possible than the